Hey everyone, it is Asia Dang. It is an absolutely crazy time right now, but I have been so excited to see so many of you taking this time to become more financially prepared. A lot of you have been tagging me in Instagram posts and DMing me, showing me your newly built budgets, your financial debt chart, your financial flow charts, maybe how you finally purchased a Total Money Makeover. I've gotten some messages asking me to share my Empower link with them because they wanted to give Empower a shot during this time. It's been really encouraging to see people being so aggressive in securing their financial life during a time of really scary financial instability. I don't mean to gloss over the virus because this is obviously unprecedented. This is a life-changing moment for many of us. And I haven't talked about it at all on my channel because simply we all know what's going on. We all follow the news. It's in our faces all the time. My grandparents are both in their 90s, so making sure that everyone around them is virus-free, I would say, is very important to me. Everyone in my family, my mom, my dad, and my brother are all flight attendants, and they still have to go to work every day because people are still flying around for some reason. After 2 weeks, at least in LA, it's been a week of self-quarantine. So it's just like, it's really crazy. One of my best friends doesn't know if she's going to graduate from nursing school. One of my other best friends works in the hotel industry in Vegas and they completely shut down. So it's a lot going on for all of us, but I wanted this video to be more about moving forward from this point on. I feel like a lot of us are trying to do that. We're trying to focus on how we can better prepare ourselves in case this happens again. And if it doesn't, then it's just, again, that sense of financial security that no matter what happens, whether it's in your control or not in your control, that you are financially protected for the next couple months. So let's talk emergency funds. An emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of expenses put into an easily accessible liquid account, meaning something that you have easy access to in case shit hits the fan. I did a whole in-depth video about my emergency fund, how I broke it down. I'll go ahead and put that in the cards. I have my emergency checking and auto savings account with Empower, and that is to be used. My Empower Auto Savings Emergency Fund is only meant to be used for emergencies. And I am very happy to see some of you having a fully funded emergency fund. I've gotten texts from my mom saying that if the airline shut down, she's safe for the next couple months. Messages from followers, you guys on Instagram, telling me that if it wasn't for me speaking up, that you wouldn't be prepared for something like this. I mean, no one can be prepared for something like this, but you've built an emergency fund. So it's been really helpful, or it's been really awesome to see that these videos have been helping some of you prepare for fucking crazy life situations. For myself, I have 3 months of emergency funds saved up. This is not my max amount. I'm hoping to add 2 more months into my emergency fund to complete my fully funded emergency fund. But if I am unable to work and make zero money for the next 3 months at least, I've actually been, you'll see more of this, but I've actually been significantly cutting my expenses. So that 3 month of emergency fund I've saved up could definitely last me for the next 5 months, for sure. And the crazy thing is now that I'm thinking about where we are today and where I was personally, even just last year, a couple months ago, if this pandemic happened last year, I would have absolutely been 100% unprepared for it. I would be freaking out right now. I would be worried about, again, how am I going to live? How am I going to pay off my debts? But as of right now, because I have been planning my emergency fund for the past couple months, I feel okay. You know, as of right now, I haven't needed to dip into my emergency fund. And again, I don't anticipate needing to do that. But if the money starts to get really, really tight, what do you do? What are the steps that you take? So if your budget is directly impacted by the coronavirus, or maybe it's not even the coronavirus, but maybe this is sometime in the future where you get laid off, or something happens and you have to stay at home and take care of someone. These are the only things you spend your money on during financial hardships, okay? Food, utilities, shelter, transportation, and that is it. Do not worry about paying off any type of debt. Your student loans, your credit cards, they can all wait. Right now, it is all about survival. If you've been laid off or if your hours have been cut and you're deciding between rent or your student loan debt, rent will always win. Keep a roof over your head, keep the lights on, keep stomachs full, and make sure you can get to work if you're still working. So that's car payment, car insurance, maybe public transportation. Family comes first during times of financial hardships. So if you're someone who is currently trying to decide between food and credit card debt or student loan debt or housing, I'm going to go ahead and link an Empower blog in the description box for you to read. How to get financial relief from the coronavirus outbreak. So I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description box. But the short version of it, you can go ahead and call your lenders and ask to reschedule your payments. Many lenders for all types of debt are being really flexible during this financial hardship. Any near-term postponement or reduction of interest or principal payments can now go to daily essentials. So you could go ahead and redirect any cash that you have available that you would normally put towards debt to essentials, and then also to savings. If you have any money after all your essentials are taken care of, please, please, please do use this time to build up your emergency fund. I'd like to believe that right now everyone is seeing the importance of why having an emergency fund in place, no matter how much money is in it, how important that is, not only financially, but emotionally, knowing that you are okay no matter what really does go a long way. I know saving up for emergency fund is like the least sexiest thing for you to do. Trust me, I'm right in it right now and I totally understand that feeling. I mean, with paying off debt, there was a clear goal. Become debt free, that is the goal. And after that, you can finally spend money. You can maybe splurge on yourself. You can start saving for retirement and then retire becoming a millionaire. But in between that moment of paying off debt and becoming that self-made millionaire, everyday millionaire that we all are going to be, is those couple months, boring couple months of saving up for an emergency fund. But again, the emergency fund is what keeps you out of debt for the rest of your life, no matter what type of financial hardship you have to deal with. Like I mentioned before, there are a slew of relief programs available for everyone right now, whether it's mortgage, student loan, credit card, and that information is always changing. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Empower blog in the description box, or I would just do a simple Google search. If you are having a hard time paying off your student loans right now, I would say student loan debt, where your location is. I'm in California. Student loan debt, California relief, coronavirus. That's probably what I would Google to find the latest updates as to what is going on right now. I know our government has a few relief things going on right now, but honestly, I don't trust the government to tie their own shoes in the morning, so who really knows? You will get through this, okay? We are all going to get through this. Just take your time. Do not make any drastic decisions right now, all right? That's my plan, emotionally and financially. Not making any big decisions right now, but I'm just focusing on essentials for me: rent, Brian pays for utilities, so I don't have to deal about that. Making sure that we are well fed, both myself, Brian, and then of course the dogs. And those are basically my only expenses. Thankfully, I paid off all of my debt last year. We all know this, so I don't have to worry about that. But that's all I plan to spend my money on, even for the next couple months, just housing and food. Making sure that everyone is well fed and still healthy. And then honestly, I did spend money on a couple board games because if we're all gonna be in self-quarantine, might as well be able to do something productive. On a side note, puzzles are probably the way to go. I have not done a puzzle in years, and we did like a Baby Yoda puzzle, and it took us like 6 hours to do. Puzzles are the best like time passerby activity that you could do because you're so focused on, I think we all know I'm a very goal-oriented person, so I'm so focused on getting this puzzle complete that time just passes by. Those are the things I'll be spending money on right now, while also continuing to build up my emergency fund until it is complete. So that's, I mean, it's pretty much business as usual. Again, since we are in self-quarantine right now, we're not spending money on dining out. We're not spending money on parking or Uber or Lyft, and that's really where a lot of my money goes. We all know this is dining out, and then parking in LA is just impossible. It is crazy expensive. So I'm going to be able to save a lot of money not doing those things this month, and anything I save will be added to my emergency fund. I will continue to cut expenses like this for the next couple months after all of this is resolved, because you honestly just never know what's going to happen, and I don't want to get, again, too far ahead of myself thinking, yes, we've come through the other side of this whole situation, and I mean, I would never do this, but like stupidly buy a car, and then for some reason we celebrate too soon and I'm stuck, you know, driving a car that I didn't really need, but thought it was a good idea because yay, we went through this. I just don't want to get financially ahead of myself in case we're not totally out of the clear yet. So that is my game plan. Now, as to where my emergency fund is, again, I did a whole in-depth video about it and I'll put it in the cards. But I've had my money in Empower, and I'm going to talk about this because, again, a lot of you have been asking me questions about Empower. So we'll just quickly go ahead and run through everything. Since the start of the Corona crisis, I've actually gotten an influx of people asking me about Empower and if it's worth it and if they should try it. And the short answer is you should try it. There are a couple things that, again, may not be like the sexiest of perks, but I've come to really appreciate using Empower, and that's the no account minimum, so you're not being penalized as you're building up that emergency fund, which I think is really, really important. There's no overdraft fees, and there's 3 free ATM reimbursements per month, plus all your accounts, checking and autosave, are FDIC insured up to $250,000. So I know there were at the beginning of this, there were people pulling out all their money from banks, worried that somehow their account would go to zero, and it's giving me major like Y2K vibes. I don't know why you would do that. However, you do not have to do that, okay? I know in the last video I did talking about Empower, there were some concerns about the $6 monthly fee. Full disclosure, I've said this time and again, I don't pay that monthly fee because I have been a member before they got, you know, really big. So I was grandfathered into my free membership as kind of like a perk to being an early adapter to their company. So I don't pay that. However, you will have to pay that. That being said, you do get to try it out for free for 30 days. And I think this is a great opportunity to try out something like this, especially if you're feeling really, really stressed and tight when it comes to money, just to see how it feels when someone like myself or something like the Empower app kind of holds you accountable for your expenses. The value really does come when you're interacting with all these features in the app that help you stockpile as much money as possible. The app offers an intelligent automated savings feature. That way you don't have to think too hard about when or how you're gonna save your excess cash. And the bonus about the intelligent automated savings is the app knows what your spending habits are, and when it senses that your finances are getting really, really tight, they will not take money out of your account and put it into savings. That is something I really liked, because when I was really strapped for cash, I would try to do these automated savings features from, I don't even know what other apps I had, but they would always pull out money at like the worst possible time, and it was just like, why? But you don't have to worry about that with Empower. And then there's also easy spend tracking with proactive alerts to let you know when you're getting dangerously close to going over budget. So I think the biggest feature that a lot of you are looking for right now is the budgeting app, or the budgeting feature, and the spending tracking feature. So I have 6 trackers. Here they are: dining and drinks, groceries, pets, personal care, Amazon, which look at that number, 0 out of 500. Look at that. And then entertainment. So those are the 6 trackers that I spend the most money on every month. So it was really important to me personally, instead of having a tracker for literally everything, including parking, including Lyft, I wanted to just track the expenses that I spend the most on every month, because anything for me personally, anything over 6 would have probably given me anxiety. So this is my monthly report. The biggest thing I've spent my money on is housing, and then probably I'm gonna post my monthly budget again at the beginning of next month, but probably also donations. I'd like to think I've been donating a lot this month. So, and honestly, I just really like how cute their little icons are. It's the little things with me, because you know how a lot of money apps are just boring. My Chase app is boring. It's so boring. But this one is cute, and it's bright, and it's friendly, and sometimes, at the very least, maybe you just need something bright and friendly looking back at you when financially your bank account's like, sometimes that might just do the trick and might make you feel better. I just see a lot of you guys working on your budgeting and your expenses and setting up your payment trackers, and it's just really important to reduce our discretionary expenses right now, when the financial outlook of what's happening is just really murky. Plus, their customer service is great, and I was supposed to go on 2 trips, one actually today, this past weekend, and the other one for my friend's wedding, which has been canceled. So now I spent like 5 days trying to cancel my flights, my hotels, and you would not believe how difficult it has been to get people on the phone. And it completely blows my mind. I think this is a time when people are really going to start recognizing brands and companies that value them versus value their money and their profits. And let me tell you, I'm never, ever going to use hotels.com ever again. However, every time I've needed to talk to Empower customer service, they reply to me immediately. And not only do we get things resolved, but they check back in. And it's not one of those like general emails, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your experience? It's always a personal email sent usually by the person who helped me to make sure everything was still going good. So to me, that in itself is worth the $6 price of admission, because during this time, I think we're seeing that some brands and companies just don't really give a shit about us. And we're really starting to see the importance of great customer service. But again, there's 0 risk in taking a deep dive into this app. If you're still on the fence about it, you have 30 days free to test out all of the features to see if you really like it. And at the end of 30 days, if you don't like it, cancel your membership. It's really that easy, though I feel like you probably won't, just because you will really appreciate what is being offered via the app. I just want you saving money. So whether it's the bank I use or another financial institution, please do take this time to add as much money as you can towards your savings fund. Of course, that's ignoring any type of bill, any type of debt that you have, and making sure that your family is well taken care of. Any excess money you have outside of those things, I hope you do consider to put it in your emergency fund to protect yourself from things like this. Just build up what you can during this time. And being financially pandemic proof doesn't mean that you're rich, it just means you're prepared. So again, I feel like with all the messages I've been getting, a lot of you are like really starting to realize the importance or being very, very thankful that you have at least just a little bit in your emergency fund. So that's what I hope this video has shown to you, not to like freak you out, but to really just inspire you as to and give you clarity as to what is important during this time and what is not. And also to inspire you to really understand the importance of being financially prepared with some sort of emergency fund. The community that we have on this channel is very, very, very supportive of one another. So if you're freaking out and you want to write about it and you want to scream from the rooftop, share how you're feeling in the description box or in the comment section. I'm just really proud of the community that we've built on my channel. And even if I'm not the one to answer the question, because we all know that I don't have answers to many questions, someone that's watching this video or reading your comment will certainly love to help you. So again, anything you want to say, let it happen in the comment section of this video, okay? I'll link again Empower in the description box if you would like to try it out. And I hope that again that this video, if anything, was just a little bit more comforting and gave you a little bit more clarity as to what to do financially during this time. All right, I'm Asia Dang. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.